Hey everyone, Usman here, back with another video. I'm going to be doing my Marvel Studios Hawkeye review, the TV series that just came out on Disney+, starring Jeremy Renner, Haley Steinfeld, Vera Farmiga, and Tony Dalton. So I'm just going to be reviewing the first two episodes because the first two episodes dropped on November 24th on a Wednesday, early in the morning, and I saw those episodes on that day and give you my thoughts, what I liked, what I didn't like, stuff like that. But before I do all that kind of review stuff, don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as leave a comment letting me know what you think about the Hawkeye series. Did you see it yet? Did you not see it? Do you like the character of Hawkeye? Do you not like the character of Hawkeye? Just let me know about anything down below. So I'm going to be going through talking about the first two episodes either way, just together, not splitting between this and that, splitting between chapters. I'm not, and this will be non-spoiler, so I'm not going to be spoiling it at all. If anything is spoilery, then I'll figure out a way to edit it out. Let me get into the pros. The dynamic between the characters is good, both Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. I just think that the dynamic between them is good. Not something that I'm like, the dynamic is perfect, but I like it quite a bit. Like, I think there's a good back and forth between them. With some of the fight scenes that we've seen within the first two episodes, I would just say that they were like, they were not terrible. Like, it's not like, something that is Shang-Chi type of level where, like, it's crazy, but, like, Shang-Chi is like a master martial artist. He's really, really good at kung fu and everything, and the character of Kate Bishop, she mainly does a lot of the fighting in the first two episodes, I believe, so she's fine. Like, she's able to handle herself, get to see the characters, they're vulnerable, they're not as great as fighters as Shang-Chi, so, or any other sort of, master martial artist in the MCU. The use of the bow and arrow, like, sort of the shots that they showed in some of the first two episodes, I think were cool. Like, a semi-spoiler, I guess. There was like a part where, like, I think Kate Bishop, like, she had like her bow and arrow and she was shot at like a fire extinguisher, and then it went flying up and it was like shoo shoo. I thought that was kind of like cool and neat the way that they showed that effect. The use of the Tracksuit Mafia, which are the names of the group of bad guys in the series, was actually kind of funny. Kind of liked it at times. They mainly say bro a lot, and I heard that those characters, they say that a lot in the comic books. So it was kind of funny. The character of Hawkeye, I think out of all the Avengers, he doesn't care about any of the fame and everything else regarding that. I mean, a lot of people made fun of the character, and sort of including me, saying that, he just doesn't, he's not that interesting or exciting, and that kind of is acknowledged in that universe in the MCU. But I kind of like that Hawkeye doesn't really care about any of that either. He's just fine with being low-key, and I kind of like that, and that he just doesn't care. In a way, it's kind of refreshing. The ending of episode 2 kind of like made me interested to see what happens next. They introduce a character that I think, well, I'm not going to spoil it with this part, but yeah, they just introduce a character at the end of episode 2. It makes me interested to see what they do with that character in the next episode and how that will tie in with the rest of the series and the characters. And yeah, this show feels very grounded. I mean, the character doesn't fly or has any superhuman strength of any kind or anything. He just has a bow and arrow, just really skilled, great aim. Sort of the same thing with Kate Bishop. So like I mentioned, like the grounded feel, and I liked it within the first two episodes. I liked Kate Bishop's character. I thought she was likable, and I mean, I think I heard a couple of complaints about sometimes like some people saying she's not really likable. She's kind of like a little annoying, or she's just rude or mean or something. But I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Just with her playing the character, the age of the character really, and just everything the character had to go through. I just thought that I was like, you know what, it's fine. It didn't really bother me. I think I liked the second episode like a tad bit more than episode 1, just a little bit more. That's when you actually get to see the characters like actually fully interacting, both Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, as well as even just the dynamics between like Tony Dalton's character and just seeing what he's about and the sort of dynamic that he has with Kate Bishop's mom. That's just what I find to be very intriguing. Decent start, not the best, but it's decent. It's not my favorite Marvel anything this year. I mean, we have to wait and see until the series is actually completed, but so far I think it's decent. So I have like maybe like a couple cons, and that's about it. Not everything is perfect, so I do have to list some cons. I mean, I know I generally like a lot of Marvel stuff anyways, but even some Marvel stuff that I've watched, I'm not like not like incredibly loved it so much that I'm like, oh my gosh, the best thing ever. There are some faults. I'll start with the first one. They had the Rogers the Musical type of thing they showed in the first trailer, and everybody was like, oh, that's so funny, documenting the Battle of New York. I just never really found that to be funny in any way, shape, or form. I just found it to be kind of boring and, well, kind of lame and just not funny. Sometimes the humor could be just like sometimes hit or miss in certain aspects. Another thing, just the whole Christmas type of sort of storyline that they have developed. He has to be back home before Christmas. I just don't know if I liked that as much. I just never really bought into the whole thing. And I know that he wants to do that for Christmas specifically. They want to spread all of that stuff. It's like a good holiday, feel-good type of show. But for me personally, I just didn't really care for that. I'm like, if it was just for like, oh, I got to be back home for something else, or maybe not even just I have to be back home for this. Like, if it was just something else, I think it would have just appealed for me even more. Another thing, and I think this is probably going to be sort of a con-ish, whatever, is, I don't know, it just the series is pretty much like, the storytelling was pretty much average. I mean, you pretty much knew what was going to happen anyways. I mean, I think I know a lot of these series, yeah, they kind of have like simple storylines, whatever, but I felt like this one was really, really, really simple. But like I mentioned, decent start. That's my review of the first 2 episodes. I just thought it was decent. It was good. Didn't love it. There's some problems with here and there with some things regarding humor and the musical stuff, and some good things like the action, the dynamic between the characters, that whole thing. So that's mainly what I think about it. Can't wait to see what they do with the next 3 or 4 episodes. It's going to be interesting. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.